You've been lied to. And the worst part is you probably believe it. The lie sounds something like this. Work hard, put in the hours, climb the ladder, and eventually you'll be financially free. It's what your parents told you. It's what school prepared you for. It's the reason you're exhausted on a Tuesday afternoon, staring at your screen, wondering why your bank account doesn't match your effort. Let me introduce you to someone. Let's call him Marcus. Marcus is 32. He works in logistics for a mid-sized company. He's not lazy. Actually, he's the opposite. Marcus arrives early, stays late, takes on extra shifts whenever they're offered. His manager loves him, his coworkers respect him, he's reliable, hardworking, the kind of employee every company wants. And Marcus is broke. Not homeless broke, but that kind of broke where every month feels like a tightrope walk. One car repair away from using a credit card, one medical bill away from dipping into whatever's left of his savings. He makes decent money, more than minimum wage, enough that he should be comfortable. But he's not, and he can't figure out why. So Marcus does what he's been taught to do. He works harder. He picks up weekend shifts. He volunteers for overtime. He's putting in 50, sometimes 60 hours a week. He's tired all the time. His friends barely see him. He scrolls through his phone during lunch breaks and sees people his age talking about investments, side businesses, passive income. And he thinks, maybe when I get that promotion, maybe when I hit that next tax bracket, then I'll have time to figure that stuff out. But here's the thing Marcus doesn't realize yet. He's running on a treadmill, and someone else controls the speed. This is the lie that keeps people working forever. The belief that your time and your effort, by themselves, will eventually equal wealth. That if you just work hard enough, long enough, you'll break through to the other side. It's such a deeply embedded idea that questioning it almost feels ungrateful. But we need to question it, because the system that sold you this idea isn't designed to make you wealthy. It's designed to keep you working. Let's break down what's actually happening. When you trade your time for money, you're entering into a very specific type of transaction. You give an hour, you get paid for an hour. You give 10 hours, you get paid for 10. It's simple, it's straightforward, and it has a ceiling. That ceiling is your physical capacity. There are only 24 hours in a day. Even if you sleep 5 hours, that leaves 19. You can't work all 19. You need to eat, commute, exist. Realistically, most people cap out around 60 or 70 hours a week before their body or mind starts breaking down. So, your income, when it's tied directly to your hours, has a maximum. You can't scale past your own limitations. Now compare that to someone who owns something that makes money, a business, a property, an investment portfolio. These things can generate income while that person sleeps, while they're on vacation, while they're doing absolutely nothing. There's no ceiling because the income isn't tied to their personal hours. It's tied to systems, to assets, to things working independently. Marcus doesn't own anything like that yet. All his energy goes into the immediate exchange, hours for dollars. And because he's so busy working those hours, he never has the time or mental space to build anything outside of that cycle. Here's where it gets even more insidious. The harder Marcus works at his job, the more valuable he becomes to his employer. And the more valuable he becomes, the less likely they are to let him leave. He gets more responsibilities, more tasks, more things only he knows how to do. He becomes essential. And being essential feels good. It feels like progress until you realize it's just another form of being stuck. Meanwhile, his expenses don't stay still. Rent goes up. Groceries cost more. His car gets older and needs repairs. Inflation eats away at whatever raises he manages to negotiate. So even though he's working more hours than he did 5 years ago, his financial situation hasn't improved. In some ways, it's gotten worse. Marcus starts to feel something he doesn't talk about. Resentment. Not at his boss, not really, but at the whole situation, at the gap between how hard he works and how little it seems to change anything. He sees people online talking about making money in their sleep, and it feels like a different universe, a universe he doesn't have the password to. But here's what Marcus is missing. It's not about working less. It's not about being lazy or taking shortcuts. It's about understanding the difference between earning and building. Earning is active. Building is strategic. Earning pays your bills today. Building creates the possibility of not needing to earn forever.
The turning point for Marcus comes on a random Thursday night. He's scrolling through his phone, half awake, and he sees a post from someone he went to high school with. This guy wasn't particularly smart or ambitious back then. Average student, no special skills. But the post is about how he just bought his second rental property. And Marcus feels that familiar sting of jealousy. But this time, he doesn't just scroll past. He stops. He thinks. He asks himself a question he's been avoiding. What is that guy doing that I'm not? The answer isn't complicated. That guy isn't working harder. He probably works less. But at some point, he stopped only trading time for money. He started putting money into things that could grow without him. Real estate in his case. But it could have been anything. Index funds, a small business, digital products. The specifics don't matter as much as the shift in thinking. Marcus realizes he's been optimizing the wrong thing. He's been trying to maximize his hours, his productivity, his value to his employer. But none of that changes the fundamental structure. He's still trapped in the same exchange. Time for money. 1-to-1, linear, limited. So he makes a decision, not to quit his job, not to do anything drastic, but to start treating his income differently. Instead of seeing his paycheck as something to spend or save, he starts seeing it as fuel. Fuel to build something separate from his job, something that could eventually replace his job. He starts small, very small. He takes $50 from his next paycheck and opens an investment account. He doesn't know much about investing, so he keeps it simple. He buys a basic index fund, something that tracks the overall market. It's not exciting. It doesn't feel like enough, but it's a start. The next month, he does it again, then again. After a while, it becomes automatic. He's not investing huge amounts. Some months it's $50, some months it's $100. But the important thing is that the money is going somewhere other than his immediate expenses. It's going into something that can grow on its own. At first, nothing seems to change. His account balance is small, the returns are tiny. He still has to go to work every day, still has to deal with the same frustrations. But something inside him has shifted. He's no longer just working for money. He's working to build a system that will eventually work for him. Months turn into a year, then 2 years. His investment account grows slowly but steadily. He learns more as he goes. He realizes that every dollar he invests is like hiring a little worker that never sleeps, never complains, never asks for a raise. Each dollar earns a small return. Those returns get reinvested. Over time, the growth compounds. He also starts looking at his expenses differently, not from a place of deprivation, but from a place of intention. He asks himself, is this purchase moving me toward freedom or keeping me stuck? Sometimes the answer is it's worth it. Sometimes it's not, but at least he's asking the question. 3 years in, something interesting happens. Marcus gets the promotion he's been chasing. More money, better title, the whole thing. And for the first time, he doesn't feel relieved. He feels indifferent. Because by now, his investment account is starting to generate its own returns. It's not enough to live on, not yet, but it's real, it's growing, and he can see a future where it might actually matter. The lie that keeps people working forever isn't that hard work is bad. Hard work is useful. It's necessary even. The lie is that hard work alone will set you free, that your effort, your time, your exhaustion will eventually add up to something that lets you stop. But effort without strategy just leads to more effort. Time without leverage just leads to more time. The truth is simpler and harder. Wealth isn't built by working more hours. It's built by owning things that generate value independently of your time.
And the only way to start owning those things is to redirect some portion of what you earn away from consumption and toward accumulation. You don't need a lot of money to start. You don't need to understand complex financial instruments or take huge risks. You just need to understand the difference between spending, saving, and investing. Spending is gone immediately. Saving preserves value but doesn't grow it. Investing puts your money to work so it can multiply over time. Most people never make it past saving. They work hard, they're responsible, they keep money in a bank account, and they wonder why, after years of discipline, they're not any closer to freedom. It's because saved money is static. It doesn't grow. In fact, with inflation, it shrinks in real terms. Invested money is different. It participates in growth. It compounds. It becomes more than what you put in. And the earlier you start, the more time it has to grow.
Here's what you can do, starting now. First, take an honest look at where your money goes each month. Not to judge yourself, just to see. Most people have no idea. Once you see it clearly, you can make intentional choices about what to keep and what to cut. Second, set up automatic transfers. Even if it's just $20 or $30 a month, automate it so the money moves into an investment account before you have a chance to spend it. The amount doesn't matter as much as the habit. You're training yourself to prioritize building over consuming. Third, educate yourself, but don't let learning become a delay tactic. You don't need to read 50 books before you start. You just need to understand the basics. Index funds are a simple starting point. They're diversified, low cost, and they grow with the overall economy. You can open an account in 10 minutes. Fourth, be patient. This isn't a sprint. It's not even a marathon. It's a lifestyle. The first year, you'll barely notice the growth. The second year, it'll still feel small. But by year 5, year 10, the compounding starts to become real. The gap between where you are and where you could be starts to close. The lie that keeps people working forever is that your worth is measured by how much you can endure, how many hours you can push through, how long you can keep going. But your worth isn't determined by your tolerance for exhaustion. It's determined by your ability to create systems that work for you, even when you're not working. Marcus still works. He probably always will. But now he works because he chooses to, not because he has no other option. His investments haven't made him rich, not yet, but they've given him something more valuable than money. They've given him options, and options are the beginning of freedom. You don't have to stay on the treadmill. You can step off, even if it's just 1 foot at a time. You can redirect your energy toward building instead of just earning. You can stop believing the lie that effort alone will save you. Because it won't. But effort combined with strategy, with patience, with a long-term view, that's a different story. That's the story of how people actually build wealth. Slowly, quietly, without fanfare. One decision at a time. If this resonated with you, consider subscribing. There's more where this came from, and the next step might be exactly what you need to hear.